Monza, known as the Temple of Speed, where the first lap usually starts with a gamble into turn 1. If you are struggling around Monza and just want to consistently hit the 150s, this detailed guide is exactly what you need. I'll show you the braking points, the racing line, and the small details that help me consistently reach amateur lap times using only the safe setup. By the end of this guide, you'll know exactly where to find those extra tenths. And with that said, let's get on it. Heading into the Rettifilo chicane, start braking halfway between the 200 and 150 meter boards. Switch all the way down to first gear, then stay on the brake till you almost reach the apex. Lightly trail brake into the apex and be careful not to hit the sausage curb. Stay on the right as much as possible, hit the throttle, followed by a tap brake, then switch direction, aiming to hit the second apex. Then power through the exit as you open up your steering. Here are two images showing the braking zones and the racing line you should be taking. The green zone is the safe braking zone, but be careful if someone is close behind you, as they may not expect you to brake that early. The purple zone is the ideal braking zone, and the red zone is a very late braking zone that will likely cause you to miss the apex, or even the corner entirely. The solid green racing line indicates full throttle, while the dotted green line represents gradually increasing or modulating the throttle. The solid red racing line indicates full brake, while the dotted red racing line indicates trail braking. The reason I'm showing braking zones instead of a single braking point is because the ideal braking point can change depending on your car setup and fuel load, so keep that in mind. For Curva Grande, just keep a tight line and position yourself as far as possible to the right to prepare for De La Roggia chicane. As you reach the 150 meter board, start braking and switch to second. Start turning and trail braking halfway through the curb on your right. Modulate the throttle through the chicane and try to cut it in a straight line before you power through the exit. Again, here are images showing the braking zones and the racing line. For the first Lesmo, start braking about 50 meters from the orange marking. Shift down to third and you want to turn in a bit late for this corner and hug the inside while modulating the throttle. Then power through using all the exit curb on the left. For the second Lesmo, brake before the 50 meter board. Again, third gear. Start trail braking all the way to the apex. Then gradually increase the throttle out of the corner and use all the exit curb available to you. Quick tip here, if the car feels unstable through this corner, try keeping a steady throttle until you fully get back on the power. The two Lesmos can give you a huge time if done right, but not as much as Asgari. Brake right as you cross the bridge, shift down to third, trail brake and turn after you cross the 50 meter mark, aiming to hit the apex. Keep on the left as much as possible, then switch directions. Try to straighten up T9 and T10 as much as possible to gain exit speed. Coming to the Parabolica, start braking right as you reach the 100 meter board. Turn a bit and trail brake right after you cross the white line. Modulate the throttle as you enter the corner, then fully apply the throttle midway. Try not to engage the TC too much and don't forget to open up your steering while exiting the corner. You can keep a tight line to gain extra tenth or go wide as much as possible to gain speed for the next lap. And here you can see what a full lap looks like. My lap time was 1 minute 50 seconds 0.4. Not excellent, but not bad either. This lap was far from perfect, so with a bit of practice, I'm sure you can do a faster times, and don't get frustrated if you don't hit the 150 right away. I got over 7 kilometers on this track and over 1,000 laps, and it still took me 2 sessions and 38 laps to pull this time. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe, and comment any advice to gain more time. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.